What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Punchboard-A-Holic. Today, we're going to do some character reviews for Marvel Zombies and Marvel Zombies Heroes Resistance, a Zombicide game. Before we do that, though, I want to give you a little info on the game. So, Marvel Zombies was a Kickstarter back in January of 2022, and it was fully funded within hours of it being released. But around October of 2022, a cheaper version was announced, Marvel Zombies Heroes Resistance. This game is the stripped down version of Marvel Zombies. So you don't get all the bells and whistles as you would with the base game for the Kickstarter. Items like your shield agents, your troopers, your guards, your specialists would not be available in the base game. As a resin figure, they would be cardboard standees, and your bystanders as well would be cardboard standees and not resin figures. Also, you would have just a handful of bystanders, where the Marvel base game for Marvel Zombies, you get quite a few, which we'll get into later in the video. So here we have our Captain America zombie. He comes with a damaged knee. His face is a skeleton. He's got some damage to his thigh and his right elbow as well. So this is your zombie Captain America. So one thing I do like with these figures, some of the characters have some detail on their base plates. So if you look here underneath his legs, he's actually standing over a Hydra symbol. Not everybody has something like that, but he does, and I enjoyed that. I will say, I know this is kind of true to the comics. Shield is intact, but I would like to see something maybe a little bit more battle damaged. I also thought it was important to, if you're familiar with some of the other games that are out there, Marvel Zombies, Marvel United, this is the difference in scale of these miniatures. So you can see, if you've watched any of my paintings in the past, the Marvel United figures, the detail is still there, but it's in a larger scale. Here's another character that I've done, the Blob. Not that much detail, but again, Marvel United, you can see it's a little bit larger figure. Next up, we have the Scarlet Witch. Zombified face. Some damage to her thigh. And these are all, if I haven't said it, these are the painted characters from the Marvel Heroes Resistance, Marvel Zombies Heroes Resistance edition. So I got this back in October, shortly after it came out, and I got to work on painting them. Here we have Doctor Strange, and going back to the base plate where I discussed, they can be seen with something memorable to them. He's standing over the his emblem, a shattered emblem, but he doesn't have much damage to him. He's just a zombie. And the last zombie that we have is Iron Man. Probably one of my favorite paints in the game so far. Got a little bit of damage to his back. He's got damage to his right arm. As you can see, his armor's been ripped off. He's got some damage to his thigh. damage to his left shoulder. And then he's got some damage to his back. No Easter eggs on his base. Now we're on to the heroes. This is my version of the Incredible Hulk. Um, I think when I painted these, I was priming everything in white, so that's why you see a lot of light shadows in there. I do have a couple more versions of the Hulk in this game that I'll be able to paint, so I think what I'm going to do is prime them in black, and hopefully the green will really pop. But I also I like how in the crevices it still looks dark. So, and down here you can see he's got his radioactive symbol down there. Next hero we have Vision. Vision, not much to say about him. Just enjoyed painting him. Again, small character or miniature, but a lot of detail going into him. Next we have the Wasp. Wasp was cool. She's got that two-tone wings, and I thought that was going to be difficult, but it wasn't. I used some different styles that I saw on other people's paintings and their miniatures for the nuts and bolts. But yeah, the wings and the details on the nuts and bolts I really enjoyed. Hopefully I'll be able to use that again in further paintings. I do like when you look at her, you kind of get a feel for how big she really is. So in comparison to the other heroes, she's very small. All right, so next we got Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier, there's a lot of detail that went into him. He looks like he's got a lot of black, but he doesn't actually have a lot of black. And this is one of those Easter eggs I was telling you guys about. So if you look closely by his feet, that is Baron Zemo's mask. I don't recall if he's in the game. I will point that out as I go through these unboxings if he is. But I don't recall seeing him in here. So, but then again, he may be. No, I'm thinking Marvel United, the first season. He's definitely in that one. He's holding a sword, but I do not recall him in this series. So, not to say he can't be in a future Kickstarter if CMON decides to do a season 2. But again, I don't believe he's in this one. So, I mean, it's kind of cool. They leave you up wondering, are they could this be a future zombie? We don't know. But going back to the Winter Soldier, I love this version of the Winter Soldier compared to what we know of the Winter Soldier as of recently in the movies or in the series where he's got short hair. This is the one that I really like. He looks like he's an anti-hero. Looks like he's ready to do some damage. But if you notice here, it looks like he's wearing all black. He's actually wearing a gunmetal shirt, colored shirt, black pants, and then he's got a lot of brown straps on for his, his little pockets and just part of his suit. So, really enjoyed painting him. A lot of detail in a small figure, but it was fun. The heart, or I'm sorry, the star. I don't know where it got heart from, but that star. There I go again. The star on his shoulder is very, very detailed. Now we have Black Panther. What I like about having the Heroes Resistance and the Marvel Zombies base game is now I have two versions of Black Panther that I can paint. This one, I painted him to look like he's standing on a block of vibranium. Um, and the one that comes in the base game, he's also I think that one he's crouched on some wood, but I don't know how I'm going to paint that one. Whether it be a purple suit, um, I could even, I don't know. I can go many different ways with it, but we'll see. Now we have Spider-Man. Spider-Man doesn't have any major Easter eggs on him. He's standing on some rubble. But I'll tell you that I say it a lot. I really enjoyed painting this mini. There were some harder details though, like his white spider on his back. You can't really see all the uh, the legs in it, but I think what I'm pointing out right now in this video is I use nano oil, and I like that stuff. But the problem with it in this uh, on this miniature is it just gives too much shine to some of the details. Cement, like, you know, that you see in buildings is not shiny. So I think that's my one complaint with that. And then, yeah, if you look here, you can't really see all the legs on the spider. So that was one tough item to paint. But otherwise, I mean, it was fun to paint. Um, yeah, now I have a second Spider-Man that came with the base game. I'll most likely do a different suit, so that will be something I'm gonna play around with. So now we're gonna get into the standees that come with Heroes Resistance. These are the zombies. So Heroes Resistance comes with zombie standees, whereas the base core game for Marvel Zombicide does not come with zombies. It comes with shield agents. So just wanted people to get familiar with that. Bystanders. This is J. Jonah Jameson from Spider-Man. Okoye from Black Panther. Happy Hogan from Iron Man. Sharon Carter. We have Wong, Sorcerer Supreme, and Pepper Potts. So again, in the Heroes Resistance, you're paying for a lot more cardboard than you are minifigures, so the price is down. This is equally just as good of a game to have. Now, if you get both core games, it just means you have more heroes, more zombies, and more um, quests to do. All right, we spent some time with Heroes Resistance. Now let's get into the game we've been waiting for over a year. Marvel Zombies, a Zombicide game. You do not have to have all the Kickstarter expansions that we're going to go through in the next few videos, but this is just so that you can see the level of detail of each character, and you know, maybe you're contemplating picking up one of the expansions, and I want you to see how detailed they are and who comes with them. Here we go. With our heroes, we have Spider-Man. You can see it's a different background. The other one, he was hanging off a brick wall. This one, he's hanging off of a sign. Actually, if you look closely, the level of detail on some of these items are just, it's very, very well. This one's a little harder to see, but you can still see it says one way. Daredevil, he is standing over his business sign, Nelson and Murdoch. And it's actually pretty cool because, you know, it didn't have to really squint to see it. It was pretty clear. Because I have two Spider-Man heroes, now I'm going to be able to paint him maybe with the Venom symbiote. I always mispronounce it, so sorry if I mispronounced it. But that's something I'm contemplating. Which suit would you suggest I paint this Spider-Man? Here you see a side comparison of the two Spider-Men. There is Miles Morales in the game, so um, technically that's a third suit, but it's a totally different character. Here we have Black Panther. Again, I did say this one's different. He's um, perched on a kind of like a tree. A little bit of different detail with some of his uh, armor on his hands. What suit would you like to see painted on this version? So I kind of feel like we missed the mark with Doctor Strange on this one. Um, the zombie Strange that we'll get into in one of our next videos. They uh, they have his powers printed, so his hands show that he's using his powers, and I think what we'll see from some of the X-Men characters, um, like Phoenix, she's got the red flames behind her in the shape of the Phoenix. I think they could have done something similar with um, Doctor Strange by printing the orange power in his hands. But otherwise, yeah, cool mini. Now we have Miss Marvel. Um, Not much to say. Like the detail in her, uh, the size of her hands. Um, but yeah, Miss Marvel. All right, next up we have Thor. This Thor is very cool. I didn't realize this until I made this video. That at his feet he has Stormbreaker, his axe, and his helmet. Again, uh, like I mentioned before, I really enjoy finding hidden details in some of this work, and those are two things that I didn't even realize when they released the image, or even the first time when I pulled them out of the box. So, very cool details. Next up, we have Scarlet Witch. This version of Scarlet Witch is the second version in the game. So now, not only do we have her as a zombie, but we have her as a hero. So, Scarlet Witch. Not sure what I'm going to do different with this version, but we'll come up with something. Here we have a side comparison of the zombie version and the hero version. Not much different. In fact, the poses are a little bit similar. Um, but I guess maybe a bigger cape, which will make for harder underlying details when painting. Next up, we have our our zombies. This is the zombie wasp. So now we have two wasps. We have a hero, and now we have a zombie. Um, Excited to paint this one as well as the last one. Going to do some similar details with the wings. Um, but yeah. All right, next up we have the Hulk. He is one of my favorite heroes, except in this version he is a zombie, as you can see by the rotting flesh and holes that he has all throughout his body. If you look down here, some of the details in the base are AIM uh, members, their helmets. So that's a pretty cool detail. But just looking at some of the items surrounding him, he's got a large piece of steel, just a rotting flesh. I think this is the first character out of the two sets that I've showed you that the level of detail for this zombie is pretty extraordinary. A lot of detail with this Hulk. Here we have a side by side zombie and hero Hulk. There are with one of the other expansions, there's a third Hulk. So I'm contemplating how I'm going to paint that figure. If it's going to be angry red Hulk, or if it's just another uh, normal Hulk with a different outfit on. Next, we have Deadpool carrying a zombie head, or at least we think it's a zombie, standing on a stack of cash. Could be Francis's head, but he's got some decay on him. He's got part of his mask is ripped off. I think he's got some damage to his legs, and his ribs are exposed. So here's another version of Captain America, very similar to the last Captain America I posted. Similar display of damage. If you look between his leg, we have the Winter Soldier's arm. It's very hard to see the detail, but if you look hard, the star is on his arm. The zombie version of the Winter Soldier is missing his arm, so it's kind of cool how these things play together. So got a Hydra emblem back there. What suit should I paint on this one? There's no sense in painting two of the same suits. What would you guys recommend? Definitely more detail in the damage on this figure. Now we have Iron Man. another zombie version of Iron Man. This one has a little bit more detail in the in his base. You see behind him, he has his helmet. On the front side, that large item there is the Hulkbuster helmet. In the side by side comparison, same damage to the left arm. The right arm, the right thigh also is not damaged like it is in the painted version. And he's missing his helmet. So so many different options for how I'm gonna paint this. Do I do the year one all silver version? Do I just go with a more gold version with red accents? Now we have Captain Marvel. This is the first time we're seeing her in the game, so if you do buy the two sets, you have a new zombie. She is carrying a scroll head, and she is definitely a zombie. A lot of damage to her. Her legs are all torn up, her arms, her face is decaying. So, but very cool. With some of these bases, I can get detailed as to where they're from. So Captain Marvel does a lot on other planets, so I can use this opportunity to paint some different colors on these rocks and make it look like a space area. So now we're moving on to our shield agents. Here we have our troopers. They come in several different styles. Now we have our guards. These are equivalent to the fatties from the regular Zombicide games. And now we have our specialists, which are equivalent to the runners in the regular Zombicide game. All right, and now we're up to our bystanders. First up, we have Okoye from Black Panther. Followed by Sharon Carter, Peggy Carter's niece. I know I confused her with Peggy Carter, but it is Sharon Carter. Now we have Blind Al from Deadpool. If you see on her purse, she has the Deadpool emblem. Now we have Bob, Agent of Hydra. We have Thunderbolt Ross. Is he going to be fighting the Hulk? Probably not. He's going to be needing saving from the Hulk. Agent Coulson. Miss having him in the movies. Great comic relief. Aunt May. Mary Jane, J. Jonah Jameson. And I love this because, again, you see how small this figure is in my hand, and look at the level of detail on that newspaper. We got a picture of Spider-Man, and it says Menace. So very cool. Just a size comparison to my finger. Next up, we have Betty Ross, daughter of Thunderbolt Ross, girlfriend slash ex-wife of Bruce Banner, or the Hulk. Next up, we have Pepper Potts. Very cool mini as she is carrying the Iron Man briefcase that, when needed, will turn into a Iron Man suit. And last but not least, Wong, Emperor Supreme. This is it for the bystanders in the game. So, if anybody's interested, there is a playable version of Wong. It was I believe, a Comic-Con exclusive that can be probably bought off of eBay. I did find a website. I'll see if I can add it to my description of how you can print it and make it a playable card without going through all that hassle. But here are some pictures of the both games side by side, the zombies and the heroes. Hope you guys enjoy. We did have an opportunity to play run through. We played the second and third mission of the game. Actually, I'm sorry, the first and second mission of the game. We started with the second one, and I'll tell you what, we went into it with a strong sense that we were going to blow through it, and at the end, one person escaped and just about everybody else died. So it was not as easy as we thought it would be. When we got to the orange, it became very difficult. Thanks. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, consider subscribing and watching another video. If you have some time, leave a comment and a thumbs up. Thank you.